Hi, everyone. It's Mary Jane Cops, the phone lady. And this week's video is about expectations. It's a tricky subject because expectations are part of our existence constantly. And so we have our own expectations that we need to manage. I'll use the word manage. And more importantly, in terms of our work as salespeople, business owners, customer service representatives, we have the expectations of our clients and our customers. So when it comes to our own expectations, we want to pay attention to them. Often, when we approach a conversation or a discovery call with an expectation of how it's going to go, we then don't hear or interact with what actually takes place. We are, it's like having the blinders on. The expectation of what we thought would take place become like blinders, and they narrow our ability to see or hear what that customer or client or prospect is really saying to us. And it makes it difficult for us to ask the best possible questions to inspire conversation and to learn more about what the prospect, the customer, the client might need or want from us. I know for myself, expectations are a challenge because I do visualize ahead of time how things are going to go. It's part of being a planner. So I think a lot about, this will include this, and then this will happen, and maybe this will happen. And I've certainly been startled and thrown off my game completely when my expectations are vastly different from what happens. I think my best story about expectations, it's quite a few years old now, but it was when I owned my first business, and I'd finally taken a holiday, but I was so glad to be back and so anxious to get into the office and onto my desk. And I got in really early. I'm an early morning person anyway, but that particular day I got up really early and I got to the office really early, and I opened the door, and while I had been away, and I can't remember why, but they moved my desk, they moved my office. Well, I was so startled. I'm not sure why they hadn't told me that that happened, but because I had visualized these extra 2 or 3 hours I had in the morning to catch up on things and get back in the groove, to walk in and find everything vastly different than my expectation, it did not go well that day. I got pretty badly startled, and then I didn't behave very well, I think. I was just so thrown off my game. So those things can happen in conversation too, where we get thrown off because of the expectations we bring. But equally important is uncovering the expectation of a prospect, a client, a customer, to be really present to not only what they're sharing with you, but how they're sharing it, so that you can truly hear what they expect of their relationship with you. Part of delivering excellence, part of having long-time relationships with clients and prospects, part of trust is delivering on what this client or this prospect expects. And so you want to have available to you that deep sense of empathy or intuition or awareness of nuance because sometimes the expectation isn't stated, but it's in the words that are used, or it can be in the speed at which they talk. Um, One of the examples I used in my recent blog post was dealing with executives who already know my reputation. They've come to me with knowledge of what I do and what I accomplish, but depending on their tone of voice and their demeanor, their ability to have bits of small talk or not, um, their expectations are revealed in terms of how quickly I need to work, um, what my working relationship will be about with them, and what it will take to get them to trust me to deliver a particular program. Everybody's different. So you want to be aware of nuance when you are uncovering expectations. You want to certainly work on your past experience with perhaps different industries or different types of people. But more importantly, perhaps, is the questions you ask. You really want that prospect, that client, that customer to tell you what their expectation is. And sometimes it's worth asking the very direct question: what is your expectation of this training? What is your expectation of this annual subscription? What is your expectation? If you're not sure you've heard it, ask the question. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll be back next week. It will be the last, or maybe the second last, video on storytelling, and we're going to talk about the importance of, or the value of, humility. All for now. Bye.